Welcome back, everybody. Just to give you a background on this, I am Donna, this is Brian. We are doing the podcast on men's mental health awareness. Just to let everyone know, Brian does suffer from some mental health issues, and we figured we would do this to let everyone know it's okay to talk about it, to try to break the stigma on it. And if it helps,
Panic disorder, depression, anxiety.
I've said that over. I didn't. I that's why I just said mental health illnesses.
Okay.
If we help one person, that would be great. This is not geared towards any medical information, like medical opinions.
Advice. Yeah. No advice.
It's just his story of what he does, and we'll go into some other topics and stuff like that. It's not geared towards children. It's going to have adult content, and his language is very, very colorful. And if you get easily offended, I apologize. No, I don't. Just keep on going. All right. So our last episode, we kind of were finishing talking about, like, towards the end, we started talking about your art. And one of the things I noticed with you is, and we talked about this before in previous episodes, how crucial you are about your art. My biggest thing is I see you giving up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sit on it for a little while and then you say, all right, I'll try again. But it's that throwing the tail in that you don't see the potential that other people see in you. And you don't have...
Well, does anybody?
Yes, I am amazing. No, I'm only kidding. But... No.
Should have known that was coming.
No. You so know better than that.
No, just that smart-ass remark.
Oh. I just think that I wish you could see what other people see in you and in your art.
I don't know that would make a difference.
It probably wouldn't, but that maybe would give you a little bit more patience and a little bit more restraint than just throwing the tail in as quickly sometimes as you do. And I'm not saying all the time. Please don't think I'm saying all the time, because it's not all the time. But there are times when you just hit that point when you're like, that's it, I'm done.
Oh, I mean...
And a lot of times he says it and
there's times where...
doesn't do it.
The art stuff all gets packed up and put away, or it just gets left wherever it's at, and it just sits there for a year or a couple years. And then there's times where stuff just gets tossed completely. I know one time I went on just giving stuff away.
Which comes back to that you suck at saving and you suck at finances. And I say this with love, but there was...
No, it's not, because there's no I don't know what the term is.
Please don't say financial value.
No, there's no thought down the road about it at that moment. Now that hasn't popped up for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But when it used to, I didn't think about, or you're not thinking about, that you may want to get back into it, and all this stuff would come in handy because you wouldn't have to buy it again.
And I guess that's where my frustration comes in.
And I don't, when you're in that moment, that you're not thinking of that, because you're not, all I'm thinking of is how to get rid of it. And as fast as possible, I want it out of my sight. Instead of just packing it all up and putting it down the basement and throwing a tarp over it, I don't even know if that would work, because I would know it's there. And for the longest time, when something would set me off, the shit it just had to go. And I had to purge. It had to get out of the house. And that was how it was. Whether it was guitar back in the day, whether it was, drawing, and art supplies, or painting and art supplies, or airbrush and those supplies, it didn't matter. It just had to go. It had to get out of my sight because it was pissing me off that bad. Like, once I felt better once I got rid of it. Like, there was a sense of relief.
But when you go to get in it again, then is that guilt of I had all this stuff, now I have to repurchase it. And I've seen that with the
It's
airbrushing. I didn't mean to scratch you. I apologize.
it's not guilt. It's just, well, if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have to replace all this shit. I'd have some of this, or yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, I have a lot of airbrushes. I have a lot of airbrush supplies and all that stuff. If I had everything from the past, yeah, I'd have another whole room full of stuff. Same thing if I kept every guitar and amp that I had started with back in, I don't know what year it was. I mean, I would have two rooms full of stuff. Same thing with other art supplies. But you, at that moment, I keep saying you, but me, in that moment, and if we're just talking art, we're not talking guitars or whatever, just art. When something flipped that switch, you're not thinking of anything else except I got to get it out of here. It's laughing at me. It's pissing me off. It's just a reminder of another failure. It's got to go.
And I guess that's the point where we're going to agree to disagree. It's not a failure, but in your eyes it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, where I wish you would see the potential and the value that others see in you. And you're not the only one. A lot of people are like that. Most people are. But you go to the extreme. And that comes with the whole...
Yeah, that's part of the package.
Right. And I mean, so that's kind of what I was saying in the previous episode, that I wish you were able to see what others see in you. And it's not just me, because people would be like, well, you're biased. I'm not, because if you do something crappy, I'm going to tell you it's crappy. I'm not trying to be mean, but you know what I'm saying. I'll be like, well, why'd you do that? Explain that to me. Like, I don't get it. I'm not seeing the vision. It's far and few between that I've said that.
And that's where, when we were talking before, it was, I don't care what other people think. I care what I think. If I think it looks like shit, then it looks like shit.
I get that.
If I like it, now here's where I will somewhat agree with you. If I think it's really good and people don't, well, then I just think they're fucking idiots and they don't know what they're looking at. Now,
It just might not be their style.
I'm wrong on both of those because it's art and, I don't like a lot of the Picasso, Van Gogh, Rembrandt, Monet, Manet, all the masters, Da Vinci, whoever. I'm just not a fan of that style. Doesn't mean they suck. I just don't like it. Obviously, they don't suck.
So then why aren't you wrong? Why aren't you an idiot?
That's what I said.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I said. I'm wrong because it's subjective.
Right.
It's art. People like what they like, and they don't like what they don't like. But that's...
So then why do you let that deter you in doing what you do?
I don't let it deter me. It's just...
To a degree you do, though, because you'll have stuff set up for a while. And then if you're not getting any movement or...
It's not all... You keep bringing up sales, and that's not what shuts it down. Most of the time when shit gets shut down is because I just get I don't know what the word is. I could not even be working on it. I could just be laying in bed trying to go to sleep and go, yeah, I don't want to look at it anymore. And go downstairs and... Now, the last time I actually boxed everything up and it's all sitting in my room. the canvases, the drawing, the colored pencil, the painting, the canvases, the paper, all of it. I mean, there's, I don't know how many boxes. A whole corner of my room is all the more traditional art stuff. And I didn't get rid of any of it. Like, every bit of it's there. But a lot of the times that I just, like, I'm done, I'm not even actually working on it when it happens. I could just walk in the house, or I could be, laying in bed or taking a shower, and then I get out and go, yeah, I'm done. I just go put everything away. Just because it just popped into my head that I don't want to do it anymore.
I don't think that's linked to your panic disorder
Oh, I didn't say it was.
or your anxiety. I don't think that's linked to that. I think that's linked to, how do I say this nicely? Why start now?
You don't have to say it nicely.
I think it's linked to your confidence, your I don't even know if confidence is the right word. I think it's linked to you thinking that,
This shit's not good enough.
yeah, and that has nothing to do with your panic disorder or any of that. That's something that could be something as you were told over and over and again you weren't good enough or something like that, which I don't think that was the case with you. But
I and I'm not. I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way. I've never been told that about my art.
so then why? So then why all of a sudden? Like why?
I mean, there's a million different reasons that it's. I mean, there's been times where it's gotten successful, and that scares me, and I shut it down. Like, orders start coming in, and people start wanting stuff, and I feel like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. You ever hear, like, people say they have imposter syndrome? Like, somebody's gonna find out that you can't do what they think you're doing.
That's not what you're talking about, though.
But that's part of it.
No, you just get overwhelmed.
It's not.
What you just described is overwhelmed. Like when all the
No.
orders start coming in, I think I can't do it.
No, it's not. It may be 3 or 4 things over a month, but I just, like, I get nervous that it's going to start to build up and become successful. So let me shut this shit down before it does. Again, we're right back into irrational.
It's not right,
thought.
but you have control over that.
Well, you can't tell if you're running a business, you can't tell half of the people to take a fucking hike.
Sure, you can. If you're running a business and you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you can turn around and say, "I'm not taking orders now. I'm too far booked." They don't know if that's true or not. You can say
I'm not,
that, though.
but I'm not talking about having too much to do.
You're not listening to me. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have too much to do, but you can tell them that. I'm not saying that you're just going to shut it down. How does it look just shutting it down? If you had 5 people that wanted to order and then you just shut it down, which would be better? I can't take the orders right now.
I don't know because I've done it, but I don't know what it looks like. And once again, the thought of what it looks like isn't running through my head at that time. What's running through my head is it just needs to go away.
I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Do you think, and this is a rational question, do you think it would be better just to say, I can't take orders right now, we'll revisit it, rather than just shutting it down? Have you ever gone, all right, I'll give you an example. You used to go to a bakery, right? Any bakery. And then all of a sudden the bakery shut down.
Oh, I was like,
And then without notice, it just shut down. And then it reopened again. And then it shut down again. Would you go back?
Oh,
That's kind of my point.
oh, I
If
understand
a
that.
bakery said to you,
Again, I I'm going to say this again. When you're shutting shit down, you are not thinking about the future.
I get
And
that.
I'm not shutting it down because sales are slow or it's costing me money or bad publicity. I'm shutting it down because something popped into my head and it's got to go. There's no rhyme or reason. If you're going to try and figure it out, you're going to get a headache because you're never.
No, I'm not saying, but you're saying two different things. Like you said that you'll shut it down because you get overwhelmed.
No, 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 no.
You-
You said
I'm sorry,
that.
you said you were afraid it would become too successful.
Yeah, it's an irrational thought. If you have a business, you want it to be successful. I said it happens for a million reasons. It could happen just because. No reason at all. It just needs to go. It could happen because it's starting to become something, and that makes me nervous because I don't want. It's like I want the business, but I don't want. Like that's why I try to keep the online stuff down to a minimum because I don't want the online presence. The only reason I'm doing like I would never do this for airbrushing or whatever. You may see pictures of work. You may even see a short video, like you took a video of me airbrushing something, or I may set up something and I try to stay the hell out of it if I can.
That I get.
I don't want to be the center of attention. I know people are going to be like, well, you're sitting here on camera talking. Yeah, but not for the attention. This is for hopefully helping somebody else. But I
So then
mean,
why do it?
there's dozens of, again, this is going to sound stupid because that's what I want to do. Why do what? Why keep,
Why keep trying then?
this is going to sound insane, but because I want to be successful at it.
But you're afraid to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. How do you get over that fear?
If you figure that one out, let me know.
Oh, there's tons of ways to be able to get over that fear, but you just and one of them is having. Number one is having.
I guess I want to have this much success, not this much.
So when you get to here, stop it.
I don't think it works that way.
It does.
If you start telling people that you're not taking any more orders, then eventually you're not going to get any more orders.
But you hit the success level you wanted. Do you want to stay at that success level, or did you just want to hit it?
Yeah, I just want to get to a certain point and stay there.
So then,
I don't want it to. What I don't want is. I don't want companies contacting me and saying, "Hey, do you want to endorse our product?" And you know, am I anywhere near any of that? No. If I put out enough stuff, there's companies that will come and say, "Hey, you endorse our product, make a small video, and then we give you this stuff, and then you get affiliate links, and then we monetize your channel," and that's where I go, I don't want any of that.
all you have to do is say no, though. I get where you're coming from. I guess my whole thing is
It's easy to sit and say, "We'll just say no," but the problem is, you're also doing the same thing that I'm doing. If I'm shutting it down and starting it up, shutting it down and starting it up, are people going to come back? No. If I'm constantly telling people no,
you're not telling them no. You're just saying, or you. All right, let me rephrase that. You can sit there and tell them. So it doesn't. How do I? Maybe not say no, but say don't put the stress on you. I guess that's it. Like, stop and think about it.
Well, I mean, most people who get into it, I mean, let's just take airbrush artists. I mean, almost any artist. They're getting it in to get notoriety and get recognized and become.
I-
In today's world, yeah, they are.
Can you name one airbrush artist that's down in Wildwood? Or one airbrush artist that's down in Ocean City?
No, because none of them are famous.
But you're saying they
But I
get,
can name famous airbrush artists.
because you follow airbrushing. I can name famous artists. I don't follow art. I don't think they get in it. I don't think most people get in it to become famous. I think most people get in it, to be honest, because it's a hobby. And then it just goes somewhere from being a hobby.
I'm just saying these days, and I did say general art, just painting, drawing, whatever. People get on it to put their stuff on Instagram and make reels on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or whatever it is to get the followers.
So are you telling me if you have the followers that you're famous?
In today's world, yeah.
Do you think that equals sales?
The better known you are, the more people want your stuff. I mean, we watch Ink Master. We know from people who know some of them that the first person that gets kicked off the show, the worst person on the show, ends up being busy for the next 3 to 5 years, booked, only because they were on a show, because they were the worst tattoo artist on that show. And you've seen some of them who couldn't even open the bottle of ink without it spraying in their own face. And they were booked up for the next 3 years.
I know.
That shows you where society's at.
So I watch reels on Facebook, and there is a person that they're skits. So it's like a storyline that you follow. And there was a gentleman that they introduced in the skits. His name is Bones. He was on Ink Master.
I know who that is.
Okay, he owns a couple tattoo shops down in Florida. I don't remember how far he got on Ink Master.
Probably middle of the pack.
But
If it's the one I'm remembering.
black guy dreads, beard. Well, yeah, that's what he looked like on the skit.
I think he was on the one that it was the men versus women.
I'd have to look it up, but they mentioned on the skit that he was a tattoo artist and he has shops down in Florida. I don't know how far out they could be him. He's doing skits now on Facebook. There's this Country Wayne skit thing that he does. So how really? Yes, he owns a couple tattoo. Just because you own tattoo studios too does not mean that you're anything anymore. I know people that have owned them that don't tattoo, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying. I don't think. And again, you know how I feel about Instagram and social media. And I just think I understand this will be for social media, but I don't think social media popularity should make anyone think they have a false security that they're successful.
No, but that's the way it is. You do have people that are multimillionaires strictly from social media. Very few.
Right. And you have people that act like they're multimillionaires.
You have more people that act like they're living
Correct.
that life than actually are.
And keep in mind, on social media, one thing that you do that a majority of people don't like, what happens to your social media following?
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something really fucked up.
You can say something that people think is politically incorrect.
You haven't been watching the right channels then, because there's dudes on there. There was that one guy that just blatantly went out and spewed racial slurs, and he had millions of followers.
And there's people out there that have said one thing and got canceled. It's a double blade sword. I mean, I just think that.
But my thing is, I don't want it to turn into that. So that's in the back of my mind.
But don't you have control over that? I guess that's my question. Don't you feel you have control over that? If it starts getting that big, you can pull back a little. Kind of like you go full steam ahead to get somewhere. And then if you start getting somewhere too fast, let off all the gas a little, right? In theory.
Not in business, no. You let off the gas and you lose momentum, and then you fall behind, and then eventually you fade away. I would rather be able to do it without the recognition, or if I could do it without anybody knowing who I am.
So kind of like doing it with an ink name, like or pen name, I think they
name.
call it. Yeah, a pen name.
Oh, yeah, not, just, but it doesn't work that way anymore. I don't know that it ever worked that way. Everybody wants, you have to build a brand. You have to have a look. You have to have a style. You have to have a shtick. You have to have whatever.
I see what you're saying.
And one, I have no style.
This is true.
I'm 56, pretty much wearing Vans and cargo shorts and whatever rock T-shirt or whatever I have at the moment.
Don't let him fool you. He had a Mickey Mouse shirt on earlier.
Well,
I get what you're saying.
but I guess I would rather somebody else own it, sort of.
Run it and you just be the
Them be the face. I do the art.
art.
You do all the social media, all the business crap.
All the schmoozing, you just do the art.
I just want to sit behind a curtain and turn them out.
So you want to be Oz.
Somebody else can take credit for it. I just want to do it. Next. I don't, but that's not the way it works. Especially today.
I remember watching a show. There was an artist on the show, and he took I guess you can call him like an apprentice in. And he was a artist that painted huge canvases. And his apprentice did one, and the artist signed his name to it and got all this money because his name was on it. And the apprentice was like, but that's my work. I did that, not you. And the artist said to him, it's the price of getting into art. And it made me think, how many artists, their stuff wasn't theirs. Somebody else did it, and because they were in a dry spell, they put their name on it.
Well, there was... I don't think it was Andy Warhol. There was actually an artist that basically had a factory that he had all kinds of artists in there, and they would make stuff. He signed it. They put it out. And there's a lot of stuff like that. And now experts know which ones are which. I don't think it's Andy Warhol. I forget who it is.
So, yeah, I've watched auctions where... I'm sorry, I gotta move.
But that's not even what I'm talking about.
No, I get that.
It's
but
not. I'm not talking about me doing it and them getting credit for it or whatever. It's just somebody else be the face. I don't want.
But that's what you just said. You didn't even care if they took credit for it.
No, I mean, they can take credit for the business and they can put their name on it and all of that. I don't care.
But do you want people to realize that you were the artist?
I don't think I care either way. Yes, and I have my name on it, which is probably stupid. But
I don't think it's stupid. I just think it. I
well,
mean,
for what I just said, it sounds stupid.
well, I mean,
Like you're putting your name on it, so obviously everybody's going to know who did it.
no, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's a hard one. I mean, I think you're, and I've said this numerous times, and we discussed this in previous episodes, so we're not going to dwell on it. You're your own worst critic, and you probably always will be. And I would say most people that are
I think any artist
art,
is.
anyone who's artistic. I'm not even saying artist. Anyone who's artistic, because it's not just.
Well, I think anybody who is into. Well, you're the same way. If you get a freaking 94 on one of your papers, you're like, why the hell didn't I get 100?
I want to know where those 6 points went. Yes, I am not get, but I'm not going to sit here and say that's it. I'm done.
Well, that's you.
Right.
And we've had that discussion. You have a different drive than I do.
But
My default setting is fuck this.
but
And your default setting is, oh really?
yeah, my default setting is I'll show you.
I'm just going to push through the wall. Mine is, I don't have the patience for that. I'm good.
But I think that's most people that are artistic. How many times do you think somebody takes a canvas and trashes it because they're like a third way through and they see something that seems to be off on them, or they'll take the paint and just throw it on there?
Yeah, but I don't even do that because I don't go back. I'll never get to the third one.
What third one? I said a third of the way through. Like a canvas.
Oh, I thought you said the third
No,
try.
a third of the way through, and they just either throw paint on it or trash it. That I think is an artistic thing.
I don't know.
You know, I think, and they do say, and if anyone's an artist, this is not a insult or anything, but they do say people that are artistic are different.
Well, I mean, if you look back at time, they were all had some mental illness.
Which is probably what gives you that.
I mean, maybe that's. I mean, if you look at most, even a lot of musicians, we were talking about comedians. There's an awful lot that suffer with depression and anxiety, and
They mask the comedy. That's what they mask it with.
the music covers it up. The art covers it up. The whatever. So I don't know if there's a. I mean, there seems to be a correlation there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would say there's a big correlation.
Now, as far as the drive for perfection, yeah, I think every artist is like that. And they're always going to be harder on themselves than anybody else is. Because what you see as finished, I see as needs to be done again.
Do you think, who did the Sistine Chapel?
Is it Michelangelo?
Yeah. Do
Da
you
Vinci?
think?
I don't know.
I think it was Angelo. Do you think he felt the same way when it was done?
I wasn't around in the 1600s. I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like, do you feel that that's how most artists think?
I think I don't think you can look at your own art the way that. I mean, there's a piece right there that I did in color pencil. Mickey Mouse from The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And it looks cool from here, but if you brought it over, I would immediately go, this should have been shaded a little darker here. Should have went, could have did this different. maybe some shading along the bottom. There's nothing that I've ever done that I can see the paint strokes, I can see the pencil lines, I can see
Because you did them.
because I did it,
Right.
and I know exactly how it was done, so I can see the process. I look at it, and I don't. It's not a piece of artwork; it's a process. I remember doing the outline drawing and then layering the colors and all of that. So it's not like somebody else's art that I look at, like the watercolor, the birds that we bought from that artist at the mall. Like I just look at that and I go, that's how they did it. Now I know how they did it, but
But
I don't see the process. I don't see each individual paint stroke or the lines or the line drawing or the process. I don't.
do you see
It's
any
just,
imperfections in it?
no, because I didn't do it.
So you don't look at anyone else's artwork and say,
Oh no, I've looked at other people's art and I go, yeah, I would have done it differently.
okay.
It's not.
And I think that's typically all artists. I
It's
don't
not.
think that's just you.
Again, it's. I've had people look at mine and go, "What did a 5-year-old draw that?"
And did you tell them no, a 7-year-old did?
No, I had my youngest daughter with me at the time. She was like, "What the hell did he just say?" I'm like, "Just let him walk by." I'm like, "You start a fight with everybody that has a comment about the artwork. We're just going to be sitting here fighting."
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean,
It's just people are going to say dumb shit. In the back of my mind, I'm like, "Well, bring him up here. Can you do that over there?" Because the one you pointed out is the one that everybody's buying.
but here's the thing. You've done the same thing to other people's work. Not art, but you've done the same thing to other people's things that they've done. I'll give you an example.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody has.
Yeah,
Everybody's looked at something and went, "What the fuck were they thinking?"
right. I mean, so we can't get.
And they may have sold 1 million of them for all I know. I don't know.
I'm not even just saying art. I'm just saying things in general. Like somebody did something to a car, you could be like,
You mean put eyelashes on the headlights?
yeah, or like a Barbie sticker sticking at the back.
Hey, I still don't know what that one is.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like everyone can see something and just be like, "Well, did a 5-year-old do it?" It's just everyone does it. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've never said that about another artist. Like
He wasn't an artist though, probably.
who?
The guy that said it.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't walk by somebody's thing and go, "I know a 5-year-old that could do that." I just wouldn't do it. Not loud enough. Especially not loud enough.
So yeah, you might say just not so the person who did it could hear it.
I probably wouldn't say it at all, but I'm sure as shit not going to say it loud enough for the person to hear it. Because what is your goal?
Right.
Just to be a dick?
No.
Congratulations, you won.
Yeah, I mean, but I just so that would be one thing. Like, but I mean, and that's something you just have to kind of muddle through it and figure out how you're going to do what you're going to do with the art.
And I may end up dying and never have figured it out. I mean, there's been time. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed it more when I was younger, pre-high school and high school.
There was no stress.
It wasn't a business.
You did it for passion.
There wasn't social media. I either did it because I loved doing it or I just didn't have anything else to do at that time.
Makes sense.
Once it became more business, that's when things were and as far as the airbrushing with shirts, I don't look at it as art. Because if I did, I'd stop doing it. That to me is, when that's up and running and completed and ready to go, that's a business. That's income.
Right.
It'll be doing stuff that I wouldn't do otherwise. It's not stuff that I would, artistically be painting or drawing or whatever if I was doing it because I wanted to.
Right. I get what you're saying.
The stuff that I want to airbrush, way too expensive, and people aren't going to buy it. And, even if I did sell some, it would be very few and far between, and it just wouldn't be worth it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it makes sense.
So, you, if you want to have art as a business, you have to do what sells, not what you want to do. And I know there's people out there go, well, if you do what you want to do long enough, it'll start to sell. Maybe. You also might be, homeless or begging for food too.
Which is what a lot of artists start out at. So
Well, they don't call it starving artists for nothing.
exactly.
And I announce myself that way, and I say more starving than artist. Because if I had
feed
to,
you.
if I had to survive off of it, yeah, I'd have been dead a long time ago. But as far as does it sometimes cause depression? Probably. Does it cause anxiety? Yep. Panic? No. But definitely anxiety, and I don't know if it's depression or just
I think frustration of not getting to where you wanted to be quicker.
more just over it kind of thing. I mean, I'm making a push now, and for a couple of reasons. And, if this one doesn't work for whatever reason this time, then so be it.
If you fall, get up and dust yourself off and try again.
Yeah, that ain't me. It's not my mindset.
All right. I think we're going to end there. Next topic to be determined. One of the best things is after we get off, we'll talk about something else, and then another topic will pop into our heads, and we'll be like, we can touch base on this. So until then, have a good night, and we will see you on the next episode.